Hi, welcome to Deliverables with Ian Foley. We're very lucky today to have the founder and CEO of Buzz Solutions, Ms. Kaitlyn Albertoli. Welcome to the show, Kaitlyn.
Thank you so much for having me, Ian. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. We are excited for you to be here. To start off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to starting Buzz Solutions?
Absolutely. So, my co founder and I actually launched Buzz Solutions from a course at Stanford in the spring of 2017. We're both Stanford graduates, and that's where we ended up collaborating and launching Buzz. In 2017, there was a really big push for more frequent drone inspections, and we were seeing this huge explosion that was happening in the market. And so, we ended up speaking with about 35 different power utilities all throughout North America, who were saying that they were capturing tremendous amounts of data, hundreds of thousands and millions of images with drones, and they were still using helicopters and fixed wing aircrafts. And they said the problem is we don't have a way to analyze any of this data other than doing it manually. And so, if you can come up with a solution to help us automate that analytics process, then we would love to test it out. And so that's what we ended up doing. We said, we think we can solve this problem with AI and computer vision algorithms. And so that's where we ended up spending the first 2 years building out our technology and launched Buzz.
Awesome. What are some of the features of the Power AI software?
Yeah, so our PowerAI software has data ingestion. So we take in all the data that's collected in the fields and we can manage that data. We can map it to different structures that are either transmission or distribution structures based off their geocoordinates and their locations. And then we also have the AI piece, of course, which is our bread and butter. And that's where we analyze all of the imagery that's been collected. And then after we analyze that data, we still give that human the ability to interact with the algorithm. So we call it human in the loop, where a lineman, a field technician, an engineer can look at the data that's been processed by our AI computer vision algorithms, and they can agree with the labels. They could add labels, edit, adjust the labels based off the different faults or failure modes that they may be looking for in their imagery. And then that goes back to the algorithms to train it, to retrain the algorithm. And then at the end of the day, all of those results can be plugged into the work order management systems or asset tracking systems. So utilities can take this information and then turn it into actionable insights.
Cool. Yeah. Human in the loop is how I feel every day. How can your software work with drone data collection and aid in utilities and inspections?
Absolutely. I mean, the transition from collecting all of this data to then analyzing that information and actually turning it into actions, turning it into maintenance tickets or work order tickets is really where we want utilities to be spending a lot of their time is on the actual maintenance piece itself. So we can help utilities figure out exactly where and when their equipment may become faulty. We help utilities identify the highest risk areas, the areas that are prone to hotspots, and we can also tell them, how to map that route to maintenance a little bit more effectively. So we see that that's where Power AI can become a great tool for a lot of these different utility companies.
Awesome. And something that's close to my heart as I did come out of the field, does Power AI make it easier for the drone teams to operate in the field?
Absolutely. We're seeing that the person that's right there in the field, either doing the data collection or if you have a lineman there in the fields, can see firsthand a lot of the issues that are happening. But then having that imagery to accompany what they're seeing with their own eye, of course, makes it a whole lot more useful. And then we see that on top of that, the ability to provide the analytics that they can then add, edit, adjust labels on, or take notes helps them further understand where and when they need to conduct maintenance. And so we want to be not only helping the drone companies who are going out and doing this data collection, but also the utility linemen who are there in the field or the ones that are already back at the desk reviewing all this imagery as it comes in.
Excellent. How has drone infrastructure inspection, the markets, how has that grown over the last
Mhm.
couple of years?
We have seen tremendous growth in the market even since we launched in 2017. What we've seen is there's been a few driving factors in the space. The first is, of course, drone technology is becoming much more cost effective and it's also continuing to improve at rapid rates. And so we're seeing that improved sensor technology, improved battery life of drones, improved camera technology, has enabled for much more frequent flights. But then there's this whole other side of it with which we're seeing with regulations. I mean, we would love to see the possibility of fully autonomous flights coming down the path here, and we're already seeing several utilities get beyond visual line of sight clearance, and that's really opened up a gateway of opportunities for more frequent inspections and autonomous inspections. I mean, I was just reading that between 2020 and 2021, the number of Part 10731 FAA waivers for beyond visual line of sight clearance more than doubled between 2020 and 2021. And so it's exciting to see that progression for the opportunities that these autonomous inspections can have for infrastructure inspections. So I think that as we're going forward into the next 5 and 10 years, there's going to be even more explosions of growth. Some of the utilities that we saw in 2017 were collecting tens of thousands of images, and this year they're capturing 1 million. Next year they are planned for 2 million images, and they're doubling year over year.
Wow, yeah, that is exciting. BV loss is definitely the future that we see coming. In what ways do you see asset predictive insights improving in the coming years?
I mean, we see that asset tracking and the world of data has opened up huge opportunities for asset tracking and understanding how assets are performing over time, or how certain components may be degrading over time. And that's where we see that the more we can track these assets month over month, year over year, or over the span of years, we can understand the rates of which the components are degrading and track trends, ultimately helping the industry from being reactive to all the problems to predicting which areas may have the highest risk of failure modes going forward, or which components may be prone to failures based off their current location. And so we see that there's a huge opportunity as it turns to predictive, and we're excited to be on the forefront of that with artificial intelligence.
Awesome. The future does look bright. Well, Kaitlyn, that was probably one of the faster interviews we've done, but short and sweet is never a bad thing. I know you're busy. Buzz is the buzz, right, going on right now in the drone industry. So we definitely appreciate you coming on, and thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks, Kaitlyn.
Welcome back to Field Time with Zach. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, Connecticut, USA. What do you do whenever somebody puts the wrong lock on the gate and you got to get to the asset that's on the other side of the hill? Well, you got to hike. You know what they say about hiking? It's a hell of a lot of fun. Said no one ever. That's all for today.